Hi everybody, it's Willow from Willow Moon Mystical, and I would like to introduce to you my Brigid doll for Imbolc. This is what we will be crafting. This video or the creation of this doll may take 2 to 3 different videos. I'm not going to rush it as I really want to enjoy the journey of creating her. So with that being said, let us get started. So my Brigid doll is made out of dried corn husk. Now to use the corn husk, you need to soak them for a few minutes in a bowl of warm water, which I've already have done these. So now we will set this aside. You know, you don't have to soak them for a long amount of time. A moment or two I have found to be enough. So then I'm going to set this aside so in case if we need to re-soak it, we can. Now, let us begin. First, let me tell you a little bit about her, the Brigid doll. Brigid is she is the goddess of spring, okay? She is the one that helps welcome back the sun and welcomes in the spring, you know. Her feast day is called Imbolc, and it's on February 1st and 2nd. And there is, there is numerous ways that we celebrate her. One of the great ways that I love to celebrate her is I use that day as my planning for the spring, what plans I want to make and plant. You know, some people use it for their planning, you know, for gardens and such. And farmers use it as well. I use it for planning what it is I want to what plans I want to make and what goals I want to set to reach throughout the year. And so, you know, I use Brigid is my main goddess, and I use her for that. Now, it is said if you create a Brigid doll and you create a bedding for her along by the hearth, or I just more or less say somewhere within the home, that she will come by and she will bless your home, and she brings abundance and protection and healing and good health along with her. Brigid is also known as the goddess of forged in fire and home and heart, you know, and she's just absolutely everything. She's known as the morning sun, and she's literally absolutely everything that, you know, I myself have represented throughout the stages of Maid, Mother, and Crone. And she is a Celtic goddess, and she is my main deity. So this is our Brigid doll, and this is the one that we are creating this morning. So the first thing that I wish to do, let me set her aside. The first thing I did is, you know, we're going to have to stuff that head. Now you can use the corn stalks itself to stuff the head with, but that's not what I chose to do. What I chose to do, and I don't want to share my own, but I wrote a little petition to her that I am going to use to stuff my head, and it begins with Blessed Brigid, bless us, and then I went on to put in there what it is I hope to plant and nourish and grow throughout the growing season on into a harvest and a late harvest by the end of the year. I'm then going to take this and I'm going to crush it. Now it's going to become wet, but that's okay because that doesn't matter. My intention is still written within. So I'm going to take this, and then I'm going to take a piece of corn husk, and I'm going to wrap around this. Now your corn husk may split on you. If it does, that's okay, and I'll tell you the reason why is because we can always go back with a little bit of hot glue and, you know, do the little nips and tucks to get it exactly how we want it. So what I do is I just fold it over, and then I take the sides and I fold them back just as such, and then I gather down below, and then I take a piece of string and I secure this here. Now let me get a piece of string, and I'm using a contrasting string so you can be able to see what I've done. So now I'm going to wrap this around here and pull it taut. You do want it taut, and then I'm just going to tie that off, and that's going to form the head of this. There we go. Now, in case that was out of frame, I don't want to have to redo this video, so I am going to loosen this and show you one more time to make sure that is in frame. So like I said, for her head, what I used is I took a piece of paper, just regular notebook paper, and I wrote down what it is that I'm wanting, the plans I'm wanting to make, and the goals I'm setting for myself to plant during the earlier part of the year, and to watch them grow and nourish them and to bring them into full harvest by the end of the year. Now, I am going to use this as the stuffing for my head, so I just lay it in the center, and it may become wet, but that's okay. And then I fold the back of the corn husk over it, and then I take the front and I just pull it around to the back. Now, if little pieces should break open on you, that's fine, because we are going to use a glue gun to secure little nips and tucks there. So then we're going to take a piece of string. I have to remember the whole thing's within frame. I get excited about the project and I don't think about that. So now we're going to take our string and we're just going to wrap it around the bottom to secure it. Now if you see in the back this may come a little poofy, that's okay. When it dries, I will take a piece of I will use hot glue to secure that down. And also I will be adding hair, so I'm okay with that. So now I'm going to find my other tail and of string and tie this off as such, and then clip this. Now that has formed the head of our Brigid doll. From there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a couple of pieces, and I just like to use, you know, the smaller pieces, and I'm going to take them, and I'm going to take this and okay, you can see where this is wider and this is thinner. This is wider and this is more narrow. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take these and I'm going to flip them on each other. As such, I'm going to wrap one around the other to secure it. Absolutely, just as such. Now I'm going to tie this off here with another piece of string. You can use little rubber bands, but I find string works just as well. And here's a piece I already have, so I'm just going to wrap that around there and then tie that to secure it in place. Spring is also a beautiful, orange is also a beautiful spring color. You know, the light oranges, but I don't know. I think of orange, I think of the darker oranges. I think of more towards fall, but that's okay. So we secured that in, and now let's do this other one. Pull it down, make sure it's all even, and then we'll tie it here. And like I said, this is going to form our arms. So let me cut another piece of string. It really doesn't take that much just to wrap around and secure these. So now let's tie this off. I'm trying to stay within frame. So we have done a few videos already for celebrating Imbolc. We've painted our altar cloth. We've painted a card to ourselves that we're going to use to further break down plans. And you know, spring is a good time for rejuvenation and restarts and fresh starts, and you know, yeah, use that energy. So now here, and then we just done one on making bunting or little decorative flags to hang above our altar. So as you can see, I went to the front and I kind of like divided, you know, the front from the back, and you may have to split this a little bit. So I splitted it up as such, and then I'm going to take my arms and put in the center of those like this. See how now it created Brigid's arms? And then I'm going to go below and take another piece of string to secure that. So now let's go below where we've placed our arms, and we want to wrap that, pulling it taut. If you pull it too tight, you may rip your corn stalk and that wouldn't, you know, that wouldn't be, that defeats the purpose, more or less. So then we're going to tie that off and clip it. And now we have Brigid's upper torso. Then from there, you can take a couple of longer pieces, such as these. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this. I think I'm just going to cut this to the length that I want my doll. So I say about there. So I think I'll do 2 pieces, and I'll measure them up, and I'm going to cut them as such. Now I'm going to take these around, and this is okay if this sticks up because I'm going to be putting something else on there, but I'm going to gather it and hold the front in place to give her, you know, a skirt. And then I'm going to do the same thing in the back. Now this is, let me see if I can show this. I just gathered this up, pleated it more or less, and I'm just laying it. I'm going to gather it and lay it, pleat it more or less in the front as such. And I'm going to hold that, flip her over, and take this other piece. This is sticking out. That's okay, because I'll glue that down. And I'm going to do the same in the back. Just going to take it, and I'm going to pleat it. I'm using where I tied off that upper part, that orange thread, as a guideline to this. Let's see, what do we got going on here? I'm going to have to make my adjustment, so I'm going to loosen the back, pull this front back around, and then secure in the back. And again, I am going to take, push that up to that orange is where I want it. I am going to take a piece of string to secure that. To secure that in place. So here's what I'm doing. I'm just wrapping this around because I'm wanting to secure her skirt. You can push it up into place. Now pull it taut, but not too tight as to cut into your cornstalk. And then I'm going to tie this off. Perfect. So there is the fundamental of our Brigid doll. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 smaller pieces, such as this is perfect. I'm going to rip this down the middle and fold these up. Perfect. And the same with this one. Now let me show you what I'm going to do with these. I'm going to take, I got to fold this one back over. I'm going to take this, and starting from the front of my doll, here, like this, and I'm going to take it over the shoulder. As such. See how that looks almost like a shawl? I'm going to do the same on the other side. I'm going to put this thicker part in the front, take the smaller part to the back. The same. And then I'm going to snip them to even them up. There we go. And now I'm going to take another piece of orange thread. Don't be afraid to use your thread. And I'm going to hold it and wrap it around here to secure that. And it's again right at the waistline. Bring it to the back and tie this off. Now, if you're the type that don't want to go any further and dress up your doll, you don't have to. You can basically stop here as you have created a Brigid doll. Okay? When she dries, you can flare out her dress a little bit more so she'll stand. So there you go. You basically have created your doll here. But I don't wish to stop here. I wish to take her a little bit further. So here is the creation of our doll. We now have put her together. So I'm going to stop this video here, and then we'll proceed after she dries real good. We'll proceed with the next part of creating her hair. So, and then maybe we'll get into creating her dress and such as well. So, I hope you create your Brigid doll. I thank you for joining me. And as always, if you would, please like my video, share my video, comment if you will, subscribe to my channel, and click that notification bell so you'll be notified of upcoming videos. But most of all, stay magical and blessed be.